Test. Test.
I was just looking at it to wonder if there was a point in time where I could respond
Test.
to a natural order. Well,
It's part of the casting cost.
yeah, that's why I didn't know if it was cast it, sacrifice creature, then do this.
Yeah.
Not have additional cost.
Test. 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 We're live. I don't hear me in the mic in the. All right. So we're live,
We are live,
and you guys can hear us, so that's great.
and I can hear you,
You can hear me.
and that's great.
I can't hear you though.
You can't hear me.
I've got nothing in my head.
How many fingers am I holding up?
0. I've got nothing in my headphones.
Well, you messed something up back here then. All right, so we had 17 people here today. This is the final round of Swiss. Let's see, who's a lock for top 8? Taylor has these standings. He's playing around with his headphones and my headphones, and
All right, I figured it out.
that's a little trippy.
I figured it out.
Whew.
You figured it out?
You figured it out.
All right, I figured it out. Here
Let's
we go.
see these standings.
Here we go.
So lock for
All
top
right,
8
lock
we
for
have.
Top 8. Doug Nelson.
Okay, Doug Nelson is on Reanimator.
Ryan Johnson.
Johnson is on the Sneaking Show. We saw him.
Benjamin Baston playing the Belcher deck.
Yeah, Benjamin Button. We got him.
Phil Wyatt.
Phil Wyatt is on Burn.
Okay, so now Jeff Overfield is in 5th place on 9 points.
He's the Eldrazi player we saw from the last round.
Okay, so he is going to be required to play a 6-pointer. I think Jeff is locked for top 8 as his breakers. I don't know. His breakers are worse than all of the 6-pointers. All but one of the 6-pointers.
Who does he play against?
I'm not. I don't have the pairings. I just
Okay,
have the
well,
standings.
thought
I would
you had
assume he plays
good
against
info.
Logan Reinhardt.
Okay.
But if Jeff loses that match,
Logan Reinhardt on 12 posts, by the way.
if Jeff loses that match, I think he could potentially be out.
Okay.
We've already seen him though, yeah.
Yeah,
On camera, what was he playing?
Eldrazi.
Okay, all right. So Jeff, even though he got to 3-1, he needs better than a draw.
Draw would get him there.
Oh, a draw would get him there, but his opponent needs better than a draw.
Sure.
So his opponent's going to force him into playing.
We've had Miracles on here twice, and it's lost both games.
Yeah, Lawrence Harmon's at 6 points.
He's playing a win it in.
And he has... His tiebreakers are above 50%, but it's in the lower end of the 6-pointers. So he's in a situation where he could win and still not get there because of who else wins.
Sure.
And the ones I gave you, the top 4 there, that assumes that none of them do something crazy like
Play Magic.
play Magic, right? All those guys have fairly reasonable tiebreakers, so even if they do play and lose, it could change things. But the only person that should play Magic is Doug Nelson.
All right, so Elves is up a game,
Not even really. He should.
down a card.
Yeah, nobody can catch him if he draws. So yeah, Doug should draw as well.
So we saw a shardless Bant opposition deck.
Yeah, it was like not red opposition. We'll call it Atraxa opposition, but it didn't have Atraxa in it.
Sure.
But now that we have those 4-color commanders, we can reference them.
I'm not gonna reference them. Spoilers.
Well, no, I'm just saying we can.
Well, I'm not going to. I'm not on board with this.
Fine, don't get on board.
I'm not on board.
The rest
okay.
of the world is gonna be able to quickly and easily talk about 4-color decks.
If they're foolish, why don't they just call it Demir Boros? Quick and easy.
Okay, so
Demoros.
which
Demoros.
which was this 4-color Atraxa colors deck?
Yeah, Demoros.
No, there was no red in it, so there's no Boros.
Oh. I'm still calling it Demoros.
It was Simic Demir. Samir.
Simic Demir's only 3 colors.
So it was. See, I can't even do it that way. I can't do it your way, so it's just an Atraxa deck. So the Elves deck is mulled down to. Do I count 4 cards?
We're gonna
All
go
right.
with Golgorius.
You're ridiculous. I'm gonna go with you're completely ridiculous.
All right, well,
You got a straight up mountain to start off here, Jacob.
all right. So we've got Arid Mesa, Mountain, Goblin
Goblin
Guide,
Guide.
Strong Start. Catch them up on cards here with a land reveal.
There you go. So, I love how Mountain Goblin Guide is one of the best starts in all of Magic.
Yeah, it's one of the most Golgarious plays you could come up with.
What are you talking about? Doesn't make any sense. Alright.
Wet Junk. I'm down with Wet Junk. That's a good one.
That's gross.
Hey,
Can we
calm
call
down.
it moist junk?
No, we're not. Get your mind out of the gutter, Taylor.
Listen, man.
I'm listening.
I just can't. My mind is so in a bottle over this Gregorius.
Golgorious.
Golgorius. See, I can't even pronounce
Golgorius.
it. I can't.
It's like Glorious, but with zombies and plants.
Right. Alright. Jacob Corwin's just going to keep playing land and casting burn spells. So stoked on it.
Is Searing Blaze here to take care of this Deathrite Shaman would be a big game.
Yeah, is that one that shows up in the legacy versions?
I don't know, man. It's been
Who
a while
knows?
since I've looked at a Legacy Burn list. But if it's there, it'd be sweet.
Would be. Here it is.
There it is.
There it is. Alright. See, that's one of those things where you don't have to question, should I bolt the bird?
Yeah, you
just
should.
do it. No land reveal for Brenden.
Brenden down to 12.
He's got this one lonely bayou.
He's got a Green Sun for 0. This is risky business.
Yeah, so he's gonna get the Dryad Arbor here.
That's
I
it.
don't know if he's gonna block with it. I can't imagine that being a winning line.
No.
I'm willing to bet that Jacob's gonna deal him 8 here. At least.
Yeah, Jace player, I 100% will. Every time I play a Golgarious deck.
You should play the Bobby Rhodes theme song. Is that a wrestler?
Yeah.
Man, you just tickled John Douglas in the fancy.
My fancies. Ooh.
He is a huge wrestling fan.
I'm not about a huge wrestling fan.
He's a pretty big wrestling fan.
All right. I'll allow that. Double Goblin Guide.
Woo! I hope you weren't trying to find some place to go. These Goblin Guides are going to show you the way.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Double hit. Feels great. And then you go down to 8, and then it feels not so great anymore. Oh. Sealing the
man.
deal.
Pyrostatic Pillar here is the bee's knees. So he's going to play a land. I mean, he can cast any number of spells, but he takes 2 each time. Alright. So we're going to see a third game here.
Going to game 3. Elves on the Mulda 4. Not good enough to get there.
I can't imagine.
Can't imagine.
Burn deck is quick and ruthless.
Yes, it is.
Right.
Just after watching today, I feel like if I ever was going to play Legacy, I just want some sort of Chalice on one deck.
Chalice on one deck?
Yeah.
Man, I've played some Chalice on one decks that were sweet. I mean, I think Eldrazi is the Chalice on one deck of choice right now.
Yeah.
But back before the Eldrazi Menace was a thing, when it was all Delver and Storm,
Yeah.
I played a red-black Tezzeret deck.
Oh, yeah?
They got to play Chalices for 1.
Sure.
It was a nice one. Nothing amazing, but got some wins. Lost some matches to Goblins. It was bad.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Goblins doesn't really care about a Chalice on 1.
I remember back when this format kind of first originated, kind of came out of its, it used to be type 1.5, and then they made, like, Legacy Vintage and reshuffled things.
Sure.
And, people thought the Goblins deck was unbeatable.
It was really strong.
It was
Still is really strong.
very good. And now it's just one of the many, many decks in the landscape of Legacy.
Sure, it's like a solid, like, tier 2 deck. But that's not bad in Legacy.
No, yeah, I mean, the tiers are much closer together.
Yeah, I'd be interested in seeing a Grixis Tez list. I miss playing that. There's just not a ton of Legacy events, at least not enough Legacy events to make me want to invest in Seas and Volks.
Right.
Vintage legal, but your deck can't cost more than $25. Total 75.
Alright. Looking at 6 here.
Well, no, I mean your average pauper deck is at least $40 to $70, right? Crackers. Yep.
Okay. He just chose not to scry because he's gonna crack this land anyway. Yeah, that's the only time the scry rule gets me is with the fetch lands.
Yeah, another reason that fetch lands are bad for Magic.
You think they never should have existed?
Correct.
Wow, that's a bold statement.
I mean, I love some fetches, and I love formats with great mana, but if you're going to look objectively, they're definitely bad for the game.
Alright. Alright. So he's got his 2/2 for 1. Let's see if Jacob's going to engage him on that level, or if he's just going to like fire off a lightning bolt, chain lightning, something here.
Yeah, I don't know that I'm happy with running this Goblin Guide out there, but if I don't have another play, then that's what has to happen. Abrupt Decay is the reveal.
Alright, Abrupt Decay. Oh, and Brendan's taking it.
That's good.
That makes me happy. As a burn player.
As a burn player, it makes you happy?
Oh, yeah.
As an elf player, it makes me happy, because that means this Nettle Sentinel is going to be doing work next turn.
Okay.
Here's some work. Oh, goodness.
Alright, so the symbiote can return a creature to untap a land. I would have done that because it leaves you with the untapped sentinel.
I mean, you're not planning on blocking anyway. It's not a huge deal. So the popper that they're talking about is GameSwap Mason's $25 vintage tournament.
So what you do is you go on MTG Goldfish, and you use their deck editor tool to put in your deck list.
Has to be vintage legal.
Vintage legal, and the total cost on MTG Goldfish in the paper category is $25 or less.
So Brenden was saying that he's excited to play an Elves deck in that format.
The Elves deck's very good in that format.
Sure.
To the point I put Engineered Plague in my sideboard.
Wow. And Jacob was like, so it's basically a popper list. And Brenden said, no, you can't even play a popper deck because those are usually like more than $25 easy.
Right, like you get a Priest of Titania in that Elves list. It's like $3 or $4 card.
Jeez. Can't play too many of those. All right, so Goblin Guide swings in. Reveals a Gaia's Cradle. Combined with this symbiote's going to be
You have to take.
a ton of mana.
Oh. I just think you have to take down the Heritage Druid there. If at all possible.
Is that another Nettle Sentinel?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, man.
Oh, goodness. Goodness.
So, Brennan really can go as hard on the paint as he wants here. Granted, every spell's gonna cost him 2, so he's gonna have to find a balance. All right.
Yeah, he should have Abrupticate first, obviously, but
All right. So he took 4 there.
hopefully
and he's
the
got a,
2
he's
damage
got a
does it.
green floating. All right. So Brennan's out of cards, but he's in a great place. He's got Scavenging Ooze in play, and that can gain him a lot of life. So Lightning Bolt or Chain Lightning here takes care of that for him. But I don't like Jacob's position very much at all.
Brennan's just at 12. I know that 12 is a lot of life to some people. To Jacob, that just represents 4 mana.
Sure.
And let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8. Potentially 10 damage coming through next turn from Regan.
Okay.
Is still going to leave Jacob at 1.
I imagine this Goblin Guide's going to be on blocking duty. It can't get through the Scavenging Ooze.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to hold it back to block the Scavenging Ooze. Okay. Alright. So
Let's see what's in the hand. I know he's got at least a mountain in hand. I think that might be a... Is that a Rift Bolt? Or is that a... That's probably Chain Lightning, actually.
sure. A couple different versions of Chain Lightning in the world.
Target you. Time to get frisky.
The 9, so he could cast. Alright. So Price of Progress is worth 4 damage.
Mm-hmm.
6, 7, 8.
No way! Off the
my
top of the deck.
goodness.
Oh, that's.
Sick. Top decks by Elves.
What? What?
And we'll call that one a game, boys. We'll be
That's a
back
match.
with